Hey, subscribers. Thank you for tuning into our channel. What do you think of that one? That was pretty good, huh?
I like that one. It's soulful.
R.I.P. Avicii. I think he died like 2016.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was I remember what was going on when I heard about it too. I was in, I think it was 2016. It might have been 2016 or 2017. I was at a kind of like a little thing for kids who had like really good grades. And me being in high school, I had really good grades. I was pretty. I think that's the first time I got principal honors honor roll.
Ooh.
Was in high school. And I was with my friend, and he's like, "Bro, Avicii died." What? It's like, yeah. I can't remember. I don't know how he died, but I just remember that I was at a special thing for kids who did well in school. Other than that, Will, do you know what this video is?
What is this video?
It's the end of our first series on this channel.
Whoa.
So we have covered all of the Moon Knight videos. We did 1.
What?
We did 2 and 3.
Ooh.
We have 4 and 5, which is hopefully released by the end of this video. When this video is up. Now this one, which hopefully we have a thumbnail ready.
Right.
And my hands are probably going to be off because seems like it probably should be more centered. Here, we'll just then just redo it like right here more centered because I'm sure that you'll like that a bit more.
That's it, boys. We're closing up the channel.
I don't know about that one.
Did our series.
Which go check out all the videos that were posted before this one, and hopefully you enjoy those. And I don't forget guys to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Without further ado, let's jump right into
it.
All right,
Joey. What did you think about the season finale?
I thought it was pretty cool. I did. So this episode did come out the same week of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness,
right?
Which made it a pretty good week for me.
Yeah.
I watched the new episode of Moon Knight, and then the next day I was able to watch Doctor Strange, which was fantastic. If you haven't seen the Doctor Strange video, go check that out. I'm just gonna keep plugging our stuff throughout the videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what you're gonna do, Mr. Plug Guy?
Yeah, that's how a lot of YouTubers do it. Yeah, anyway, so I did enjoy the episode. I think it was a good way to send it off. I did wish it was longer though.
Right, it's super short.
Yeah, it just feels like there could be I wanted to see more. I wanted more. Since I'm an American, I'm a natural consumer.
Right.
So I wanted more entertainment.
Right.
But unfortunately, Disney didn't want to give that to me.
Give us our American 22 episode seasons. None of this British nonsense where Sherlock does 3 episodes every 4 years. Don't do that.
Is that what happens?
It's not quite 4 years, but every season is 3 episodes, and they do want to. It's probably about every 3 years, I would say.
So it takes them 3 years to get a season out?
Yeah. I mean, they also gotta get Benedict Cumberbatch to not be Doctor Strange for a second, or Smaug, so he can actually film it. But yeah, they barely any episodes of that show.
That I've never seen. I guess we may have to check that series out.
It's pretty good.
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
So did you enjoy the episode?
I did. I thought it was better than Multiverse of Madness, which if your episode is 30 minutes long and the movie is 2 hours long.
It's almost 3 hours long.
You gotta work on making your stuff. I don't know what I'm saying here.
Shout out to Pizza Papa. So, Will, what was your favorite part of the entire episode?
My favorite part of the whole episode, I really liked Layla getting superpowers. I really like Layla. Layla's pretty sick. Ever since she fought that mummy, I went, Layla's one of my favorite characters of this show.
Or as that one bad review said, the exposition machine.
Exposition machine,
yeah. Yep. So, whoever, I don't even remember the name of that person, whoever left that bad review.
Yeah.
I don't think she's an exposition machine anymore. She's a freaking Egyptian superhero.
That was the single worst line of the whole show. And I don't understand how they threw it in there when a person literally goes, "Are you an Egyptian superhero?" It's like, "Yes." Wow.
Like, really? Yeah, you couldn't tell.
Great.
Good for you guys.
It felt like a literal, like, hold up, let's get the writers to explain. You realize why you guys said, hey, why are you guys making this show about Oscar Isaac? And he's not Egyptian. You fools. This is actually about the MCU's first Egyptian superhero. It's like they were specifically coming after the critics who were like, why are you guys making it about Egyptian, but it's not actually about an Egyptian? It's like, you're both are wrong. Make movies about good stuff. And also, don't put bad lines in your show.
Well, here's the thing. Mark Spector's also American. But Oscar Isaac did do a good job playing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, my favorite scene
Okay.
is when they're switching between Steven and Mark in that fight scene. And he tells it, like, you want to see what I knew? Like, he basically just says, like, hey, watch what we can do now.
Right.
And he, Steven's, like murking people and just, like, flat out kicking their tails. And then, like, his baton gets, like, bounced off or something.
Right.
And then Mark catches it. And I'm like, bro, this is absolute teamwork. Like, and I just thought, like, man, this is so cool.
Right.
But, like, when I was watching a lot of this stuff, like, the whole time, the first time I watched it, I was watching with one of my buddies. And I told him, like, bro, I guarantee you there's about to be a giant kaiju fight in this episode. And guess what? There was a giant kaiju fight. I'm like, bro, watch. He's about to get his butt, like, Mark or Steven, whoever is going to get, like, taken down by this dude. And then they're going to switch that third personality. Watch. Freaking called it. And there's no way for me to prove that. But I know I'm right.
I believe you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's just because I watched too much media and, like, a lot of things. There's some things they can basically predict once you've seen enough movies and TV shows.
That was one of the things I didn't like about this episode. Is it really was like it would have been so much cooler if they actually, like, showed him win the fight, because they kind of, like, the concluding battle of the whole show, they kind of go, and we're fighting who's gonna win, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you won. You know what I mean?
I'm like, bro, and I was hoping they would show the fight sequence with him, and like they'd actually introduce him, but no, they didn't. What's his name?
Jake Lockley.
Yeah, Jake Lockley.
And I do like the scene where they introduce him. It just felt like if you're doing the final episode of your show and you're doing the final battle, like, show the final battle and don't just be like, beep, 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 beep. Oh, the show's over. Never mind.
Well, so I was wrong with one of my predictions. I thought there was going to be a scene where we'd see all the personalities in a mirror or something.
In that mirror.
No, so it was basically just Mark, Steven, and Jake. So Mark, Steven, Jake. Those are the three main personalities. The other three personalities, they do show up eventually. They're just not the, like, major. Like, because, like, we saw in the memories that Steven was the I would believe that Steven was the second personality to emerge. And then I'm assuming Jake was after that.
Right.
So Layla's contract, she said it was temporary, but I don't think it's actually going to be temporary.
Yeah, she's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like that goddess is like rude, mean. She's really nice, like really, really nice.
Right.
I'm like, bro, I want to see more of her. Now her voice is a bit more high pitched, which that can kind of be annoying.
Right.
But she's not annoying like Khonshu. Khonshu's a different type of annoying. So it's one thing that her voice is just kind of high pitched, and if, like, I was hearing it hours on end,
right,
like in my ears with a headset, I can kind of see how I'd get frustrated and, like, really irritated quickly with that. But Khonshu, he's just a jerk.
Right.
Like, just a flat out jerk. Oh, another thing. I did like the scene where Khonshu was, like, in a suit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like
in the limo. Like, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he does. He's just like, sup. I'm back and you're going to die.
Exactly.
Mark doesn't understand how broken he truly is. Can we jump back to the kaiju fight?
Okay.
Do you remember when our chief complaint for episode 1, special effects, we were so on about, like, the special effects in the show are bad, and they're not good in the first episode, but literally every single episode they've gotten better, and the giant kaiju fight looks incredible. Crocodile looks great. Apparently they literally saved their money and just went, hey, do the later episodes. This one doesn't matter that much. People will
Well,
live
I
with
don't
it.
think it's necessarily that. I think they're as the episodes progress too, their budget's gonna get a bigger budget because Disney wants certain things to occur.
Right.
So one thing that isn't great about Disney is that they do have they control a lot of what they're putting out. Like whoever the writer or director is, they have limitations of what they can do with their work. So Disney will say, all right, this is what we want to have to happen. They'll be very specific of like key points, I'm sure, of what they want to happen. And then like some small details or like stuff that's in between, like whatever that they want is up to them, as long as and then they give their budget based upon they base their budget upon that.
This is a genuine question. Is it Disney or is it Feige? Can Feige do whatever he wants at this point? Because I kind of feel like Feige's the one sticking his little fingers in everything.
I feel like because I think Feige's just trusted enough.
Yeah.
That it's not that he has like a lot of say over bigger projects. I think Moon Knight was a smaller project, and they just didn't like. Feige had other stuff going on, obviously.
I mean, Feige, did you hear that story about how he decided to put a scar across Steven's mask?
Oh.
He walked in and was like, put a scar there. I'm Feige. You're a costuming person? You've done this for years? Put a scar there. I say so.
This is what I want.
Do it now.
Maybe Kevin Feige does have a lot more control, but I feel like Disney, when Feige's not there, Disney does do what they want to.
Right.
So I'm sure if like Feige was there to like, just like if Disney and Feige are in the same room, though, like Disney just looks at them like, yeah, just do what you want, man. Now if it was like some new guy that was on, they're probably gonna be like, okay, you don't have any established work with us yet that has made us money, so now we're gonna push you in the way we want you to go.
Right.
Versus like Kevin Feige, he outlined a whole plan for Marvel, and guess what? That's made them a lot of freaking money.
Right.
Like a lot, like Spider-Man alone, like was the most anticipated movie of last year,
right?
And it beat Endgame out in the box office,
right?
And Endgame was like was also a pretty big deal too,
right? Funny enough, Endgame, big deal, hot take, yeah.
And Chris Hemsworth we consider to be a perfect man. Have you ever never read the book The Great Gatsby? He brings his kids to the set. He makes sure that he spends time with his family, and he doesn't let his job interfere with his family time.
Yeah, I was homeschooled, so the only required reading I really had was this book about anacondas infesting a school.
He loved Peter. Like that's one of the main reasons he figured out time travel was to save him. Is that the one where he lost a lot of weight and he ran across that frozen river? He's a good actor, but he's not better than Chris Hemsworth.
We are so far off track.
Yeah, we are. We're not even.
I literally had a moment where we paused for a second and I went, wait, what video are we doing? Moon Knight.
Yeah. We're gonna why did they title this video Moon Knight if they're gonna talk about other stuff for 15 minutes? I'm like, I don't know. So, what was your least favorite part about this episode?
I've already hit my least favorite part, which is that single line.
That single line? That's your least favorite? Like, just that line's what bothers you the most?
I think it's the only,
I didn't mind the line. I kind of just, I pushed that line back in my head because I completely forgot about that scene. Because it just... And then I saw him this just seems like a weird thing to add, but whatever.
Right.
Now, my issue with this episode was obviously the length. That's the one thing I didn't like about it. And of course, the cut where we didn't get to see all the fighting that
Lockley
didn't get to, that he did. Because I wanted to know how he was able to basically take down everyone. And then Layla just doesn't say anything about it. She's just bro, what happened?
Hero's not hey, what?
Obviously, Khonshu knows a lot more about Mark than he's letting on to be. Right. And one of his things was I promise you too that I'll let you go. He's very specific with his wording, so he doesn't break his word.
Interesting. What'd you think about all the gods just absolutely getting obliterated by a human being with a magical artifact?
I felt nothing.
You felt nothing?
Their deaths were necessary for the plot.
It's so funny to me to just be I assume that main guy is Ra, and he's just goodbye. We got the Elephant God. She's turned Layla into a superhero. We've got Khonshu, 80,000 feet tall, smashing things. Raj is like, pew, you're dead.
Now, if I was Layla, and obviously she knew which statue was Khonshu's, but I'd just break all the statues in there. Just because I was like, honestly, I don't know what these guys did. They could have been unjustly,
The god of death and torture.
Well, no, because they weren't like hidden out Alexander the Great's tomb.
Right.
Like, what's her faces?
There was no cameo. There was no references to anything outside of the show, was there?
Oh, just to break off real quick. Did you hear the rumor that Deadpool may be taking Stan Lee's spots for cameos?
I think that interesting.
I don't know if that's like an actual rumor or if that was just a meme, but my buddy sent that to me, and I'm like, that'd actually make a lot of sense. That would work.
That could work if he just was in the background.
I'm not saying like he has to have a line. I'm just saying like we just see like, oh yeah, the Egyptian kaiju fight. You just see Deadpool just dancing.
Yeah,
like just having a good time.
That would be good if never has a line, is only about this tall in the background.
Or like you just see him walking in the background. It doesn't necessarily like he has to be like it'd be like it'd kind of be like Where Was Waldo, but except it's Where's Deadpool at?
Right. I want him to be
like
missable.
Like just some people are watching this movie. I'm like, I know he's in here. I'm just gonna find him. Oh, there he is. He's drinking a coffee a mile like 3 blocks down.
He's dressed as an old grandma with a wig, pushing a baby stroller across the street.
Yeah, it could be like him. It could be stuff like that because like Stan Lee's cameos, of course, he had lines. But like Deadpool, since he's a little bit more vulgar, it'll mess with their ratings. But if he's just there, not doing anything that's like super violent, like even if it's just him doing like a backflip for whatever reason, like, I think that'd be pretty cool.
He's playing hopscotch with 2 girls like halfway down the street.
Yeah, that'd be like stuff like that would be pretty funny.
I think if they ever I'm sure they will do a Deadpool movie. They should do Deadpool and Squirrel Girl. Team them up. That should be. I don't think we need an MCU just straight up Deadpool movie. I don't know. I think Deadpool works best in team ups.
Well, no, I think it gives us more humor, and it gives us more opportunity to kind of see him interact with other characters. Now, I would like a Deadpool 3 to kind of explain how he became part of the MCU, and I want him to talk about the merger between Fox and Disney, because I think he'd be like, well, now that I'm owned by a mouse, I am now part of the main MCU universe. And you want to know how they're going to make this work? They're just going to say, oh yeah, when he time traveled and changed the events, it had this universe collide.
It opens up with him sitting in an executive office as they like read out his new contract to him.
And he's nodding. And he has like his lawyer next to him, and he just like leans over, whispers something. And then the lawyer just looks at him, smacks him. And it's just, something like that. That'd be cool. Anyway, keep getting off track. All right, Will, it's time for everyone's kind of more frequently known, well-known segment on our channel.
Ooh.
Will reads Joey a bad review. Joey reacts to that bad review with words out of his mouth or this acronym. And Will, before you say anything, I know I've kind of stolen this thing from you, but it's because I like attention.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, I was not. I don't get much attention often. Touched. I don't get attention much often.
You heard it, viewers. Touch Joey.
Please don't touch me.
Hey, Joey's grandma, give Joey a nice pat on the back next time you see him.
I hug my grandma like almost every time I see her. Because you gotta hug your gams.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
For
the review. Yeah.
All right. 3 out of 10 stars.
Okay, go. Sorry.
3 out of 10 stars. Seifildin-2215 wrote this review. Why does every Marvel movie or show that has potential at its start end with a silly, predictable final episode? It would have been very creative if we ended up not knowing if he was in a mental hospital or not, or any other ending rather than the expected one from every other Marvel show. The MCU was kind of interesting because of the connected universe, but it is done very poorly right now. They can't make a show that stands up on its own. And it would have been nice if they used the superhero nature of the show to explore and elevate another good narrative like mental health or history. But no, it's Marvel, so they hint at a creative narrative and then end it with some CGI characters fighting each other, and I could not be less interested. I am sad that whatever Marvel does right now, it gets all the attention rather than other shows or movies that are creative and actually good.
Do they not give any examples of what a show that's creative or
Nope.
actually good?
That's all she wrote.
Well, are you sure it's a she? The fact they didn't give any evidence, didn't give any examples of any shows that are out right now that are creative and actually good, and they're at least speaking that person's words. I think Marvel should pursue more avenues like this, actually, to where they have more standalone stuff.
Right.
To where it's not like, oh, this ties into whatever is going on in the main thing. Like, oh, you get a cameo from Doctor Strange for whatever reason.
Right.
Was I a little sad that what's her name didn't show up to recruit whoever for the Thunderbolts?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also Moon Knight's a new character. They're introducing something new. So that's how, like, it's like saying, oh, they shouldn't have introduced Captain Marvel and had her own standalone movie. So they should have just introduced her into Endgame. I feel like having standalone stuff is still a good idea. It gives them more opportunities to have other stuff that isn't part of the main movie line. So it gives them more opportunities to spread out and do, like, there was a theory, I can't remember who said this, but what they're trying to do is create, like, more dark toned, like, more mature audience, like, at least older audience geared focus in the Marvel. I think it's called, like, Dark Knights. And it can bring in, like, it'll bring in people who
Blade,
yeah. Blade's gonna be one of them. And just, like, more darker tone characters that have a lot more mature themes compared to the other, like, more lighthearted stuff.
Right.
So I'm hoping that's what their goal is. So it gives them opportunity to pursue new avenues that they haven't pursued yet. Not just to make money, but people who can get more entertainment out of it. Because, like, I grew up with all the Marvel movies. Like, all the Marvel movies that have been released to this point, I grew up with them. And as I've gotten older, they've gotten more, there's different themes that go on as I've gotten older. And I've been able to experience them from different points of view. Like, watching that first Iron Man movie as I want to say I was 9 or 7 or however old I was. And now I'm watching the first Iron Man movie as a 20-year-old. So it gives me more, I've matured as I've gone. I'm like, this movie was, like, good when it came out when I was this age. But now I kind of like this one a bit more because I get the humor in this one more. So, like, predictability. I don't think, like, it was kind of like I predicted some of the stuff that was going to happen in this movie or this show, this episode, and which is fine. It's fine to have predictability, but I feel like that's what the fans want, something that they can predict too. Like, they want to be like, I was right. Oh, I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, like, that's what fans want.
And I understand the concept of being like, why does every show have to end with a big CGI battle? This is a good one, though. There have been bad ones. The finale of Falcon and Winter Soldier, bad episode of television, bad episode of that show. That episode on its own might be the worst thing the MCU's ever made. This is not that. This is good, and there's other stuff in there. The battle in this isn't even that long.
Sorry that this wasn't creative enough for you and didn't keep you guessing. You've yet to state, you did not state what's something that could be better, that's more creative. I'm not saying we shouldn't watch something that's more creative, but, you know, Marvel's a proven product already. Like, the MCU, Disney has given us enough, like, has proven itself that, like, yeah, we can write decent MCU stuff. So just be happy that we're at least getting new stuff, you know, because a lot of the stuff that they're trying to, like, readjust from COVID too. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they have to work around. Like, they're still facing the backlash of that because, like, their schedule's, like, now way off, and, like, a lot of the stuff that was supposed to be aligning up with each other didn't line up. So, like, a lot of it isn't going to make sense. Now, of course, they probably had some parts they enjoyed too. They're just not sharing that because they just want to be like, oh, I'm mad about. They could be mad about something else. I'm not saying they are. But, you know, they could be mad about something else, and then they're just taking it out so they can feel better about themselves. Which, like, I mean, there's a lot of, like, negativity is necessary for products, because there's always going to be someone who's against a product for whatever reason, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I feel like it's a necessary thing because it makes people who like love it, gives them an opportunity to talk about it and break down their points of why they're wrong. So that's like kind of what the point of this segment is for me to break down why this person's wrong. I'm not that good at doing it, but I feel like I do it moderately. I've gotten better as these episodes have gone on. And I think like as we've gone on too, like even our channel's been improving like in quality just because we've been able to flow with it and like get on talking points. Now today's video we did get on to tangents about other stuff, which I think is going to be entertaining for the viewers. I hope at least. So, I mean, yeah, that's why it's a bad review. I'm not gonna give them a normal bad review because it wasn't. They did have some solid points, but it wasn't. It still wasn't. They didn't have enough evidence to back up some of their points.
Right.
So I will give them a 2 out of 10 stars.
Okay. 2 out of 10 stars. Fair.
My final thought is, I think it ended on a good note. Like it was a good end, making me want to see more of this. It wasn't bad and made me like I'm okay. I watched that. Now it did have some bad episodes, of course. Like episode 2, it was kind of boring. But I feel like I'm walking away with this and I'm like seeing Mark and Steven work side by side. I love that. How they're like basically best friends now, even though that kind of like he's his own best friend, which is kind of weird. But I think like, okay, it can work because they are their own separate personalities. It's not like he's a crazy person. But I honestly, this was one of the better episodes for sure. Last 3 episodes were pretty solid, honestly.
I think it really it caps off the series well. I think this is in the upper echelon of Disney Plus shows. It's in contention with Loki for second place in my mind.
Honestly, yeah. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was pretty good except for that last episode. But for sure Moon Knight beats it out. I haven't watched Hawkeye at all, so I can't really, but I want to say that this for sure is second place, if not pretty close with Loki. Loki did set the bar pretty high though. But I think it's because I like Loki more and I just don't know enough about Moon Knight. All right, so Will, on a scale of 1 to 10 caffeinated beverages or energy drinks, what would you rate this?
I'm going to give this episode a 7.9.
7.9 of your V8 energies?
7.9 V8 energies.
So today I drank a Monster Energy drink. So I will give it a solid 8.
Ooh.
Just to have a bigger number than Will's. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching till the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and smack that notification bell to stay posted for any new content that we release. We're going to try to get into an uploading schedule. Eventually, we want to work till getting 2 videos out a week. That way you guys can see more of our wonderful content where we go on rants about movies and shows because we are nerds. So comment down any movies, or shows you want us to do, but we might not do it. But we might do it. But we might not do it. Bye!